It's your boy, Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. So, former Congressman, now radio host Joe Walsh from this shithole state, from the shithole state of Illinois, which, by the way, I'm originally from Chicago. Mind if I tell you that? Uh, yeah, he now wants to talk about being a challenger against Donald Trump, you know, as a GOP primary guy. Oh my God. Oh, man, what a freaking joke. What a freaking joke this guy is. I mean, come on. That fool only lasted for one term in Congress, for crying out loud. Um, with he won the 2010 uh, election for Congress, but he lost the 2012 re-election bid against, I believe, Tammy Duckworth in Chicago. I mean, for one thing, this guy, Joe Walsh, let me say this, Joe Walsh is a freaking rhino, all right? And two, it's like this. I used to listen to his radio program for like a brief minute, and then all of a sudden he became nothing more than just a complete never Trumper. I mean, he claims that he's a Trump supporter. I mean, even though he claims that he's a Trump supporter, that will freely criticize him and call him out for whenever he does wrong. I mean, on times he has called out Trump, just like I've called. I'm a Trump supporter. I still support Trump. I mean, and I even pray for Trump as well. And I'm also saying this. So, I've called out Trump on a couple of things too. Like one video, I basically made a disagreement about what Trump said, that video game violence is being tied to mass shootings. And when he said that one time, I pretty much said, I disagree with you on that, Mr. President. But let me just say this. Joe Walsh is a total rhino. I mean, and the thing is that this is a guy who supposedly says that he doesn't know what people are talking about, when he makes outbursts, constant outbursts on his radio program. Now, let's just say this. Yes, Mr. Walsh is a Tea Party, supposedly a Tea Party Republican. Now, and what about, I'm also going to say this too. Mr. Walsh, you were thrown in the joint before, okay? Especially when you owed, I don't know if you still owe, back child support, and what have you. So, and when I look at your recent, I think when I looked at one of your recent radio show programs on YouTube, why are you not gaining that many views? I mean, like, I think it was like around 50 views that you had. I know I'm only doing this on a cell phone, and some of my views some of my video views have gotten to like about 1,000. I mean, even though there are some that's like, I mean, obviously video counts between 30 and 50, no more than 100. But really now, and there was a time that you've yelled at your constituents. Uh, now, I agree with now, Mr. Walsh. I agree with you on being consistent when it comes to government and whatnot. And basically, you just like I basically want government to leave us alone. But Mr. Walsh, I gotta have a criticism of you for stating that Donald Trump is a very ineffective president. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to ask you this question, Joe, but what are you smoking? What the freak are you smoking? Because Trump has, if Trump is such an ineffective president, explain why, number one, black and Hispanic unemployment are at historic lows. Explain why, you know, right now we're starting to get a wall built. Um, Let me just say this. Trump has accomplished a hell of a lot within a little over 2 years compared to Bush, Obama, and the Clintons. So come come on. Unless if you're behind, even though I'm still speculating that you're still a constant guest on Chlamydia News Network and MSNBC. But really, Mr. Walsh, are you listen? Are you on that stuff? Are you still trying to listening to what the goofballs in the drive-by media are trying to tell you? So you could basically overthrow. I mean, try to run against Trump. I mean, with you being a never Trumper now, come on now. And if you say that you're such a Trump supporter, why all of a sudden that you're stepping away from his support? I mean, you're starting to act like a sleaze, dude. Straight up. The link to this article is in the description. What are your thoughts and what are your comments on this? I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. Signing the fuck off. I'll let you boy.